Sarah, 21.
6 years ago, Sarah was an outgoing teen with a great sense of humor. She loved music, traveling with her friends, and eating lobster. But in an instant, life came to a crashing halt.
How did you get your head injury?
Car accident.
Sarah was 15 years old when she had her car accident. She was coming back from Syracuse from a field hockey camp.
That day, Ken and Kathy got a call from the local hospital, indicating that Sarah was being airlifted to the OR. They rushed to the scene, anxious to find out about their daughter's condition.
She was all hooked up to monitors and tubes and just lying there with bandages on her head, and it was just very, very upsetting to us, very, very upsetting, and very, how else would you explain it? I mean, it was just...
We were in shock.
Yeah, we were definitely in shock.
Ken and Kathy stayed by their daughter's bedside as the days passed, waiting for answers, struggling with questions no parent wants to ask.
She was in a coma. Is she ever going to come out of the coma? Can she see? Can she hear? I mean, we're thinking of all the, the data, just normal things that you take for granted. Didn't know if she'd ever be able to walk again. Would she survive this?
All we would do was pretty much sit there and hold on to her hand because she couldn't talk. Her eyes were swollen shut. So we were just holding on. And the doctors would come and give us updates, and that was our hope. Get us through that day. Let's go get to the next day and keep on moving.
Sarah was in the hospital for a month before being transferred to a coma stimulation program.
When Sarah was no longer considered critical, they got her all set up there and immediately started assessing her and put her on an intense therapy program.
She still couldn't talk, and she had a feeding tube. So it was all getting her body to move again and go from there.
When you first had your accident, were you walking?
No.
What were you doing?
Wheelchair.
They always told us it's going to be baby steps. It's going to be slow progress. It took a year
Over a
before we
year.
heard her voice.
And
I think just seeing what she was doing and the obstacles that she was overcoming gave us tremendous amount of strength. It's just amazing the things that they put them through in these rehab centers, but the results are so positive.
After 7 months in the rehabilitation center, Sarah was ready to come home, but she would still need a great deal of supports and services just to get her through the day.
We had a busy household during the day before Sarah went back to school with therapists coming in and out of the house, nurses, home health aides, people from the county, the central assessment, to talk about funding and the therapies and the agencies. It was very, very confusing. I just took notes and tried to keep everything as organized as I could, with a calendar on...
yeah, 2 calendars.
Well, we have several different calendars. One is Sarah's
One on
calendar.
one side, and you open the door, there's Sarah's calendar. Every day was
Yeah.
filled with something. It's all day long.
Eventually, it came time for Sarah to return to school, although the experience would hardly be the same for her as it was before.
It was about a year and a couple of months after her accident that she did return to school in a wheelchair with a one-on-one aide. We carved out an educational plan for her. She received speech therapy in school, occupational therapy, physical therapy. Even though Sarah wasn't verbal in the beginning, people would come up to her and she could give them high fives, and she communicated that way, and it was just very heartwarming to see her back in school and accepted for Sarah.
Today, Sarah continues to progress, participating in a cognitive rehabilitation day program and outpatient therapies.
When Sarah was first referred to us, I read the neuropsych report that was done on her, and I said to myself, oh my gosh, this poor young lady, she is so severely injured. I don't know if there's any way that we're going to be able to help her.
What were you like when you first came here?
Sleeping?
Mm-hmm. Did you have a lot to say?
No.
Did you want to say a lot?
Yep.
What happened? Why couldn't you say a lot?
Talking was off limits.
And even though she could barely say a word, okay, she was there with us and we saw that she was understanding what we were saying. And we saw her spirit and we saw her determination. And we said, wow, this is the best of all possible worlds. Support a family who has learned and knows what they're doing with her, is open to learning more, and a young woman who says, I'm going there no matter what. And that's basically how she impressed us. And so we decided to take her.
Sarah continues to make great strides, increasing her capabilities and building on her skills each day. Most importantly, her perseverance and sense of humor have always stayed with her and helped to inspire others.
I heard you took a cooking class.
Terrible.
What was bad about it?
Cooking is not Bryce.
It's not your thing, huh?
No.
No. What would you like to be doing?
Eating?
Oh, you'd rather eat it than cook it.
Yeah.
Her bubbly personality, her sense of humor have gotten her through so much.
So you laugh a lot. You have the sense that you're number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Obviously.
It's still Sarah. It's still Sarah.
Everybody respects her, everybody likes her, her sense of humor comes through.
When you walk in the room, do you come in all quiet?
No.
What do you do?
Play interests.
When you're in it every day, you don't always see it. It isn't until someone comes in to visit Sarah or hasn't seen Sarah in a while that they notice the progress.
So we're kind of like following her. She's leading us. We're supporting her, and we got the support from everybody around us.
The families of Sarah, Allie, and Brandon face unique challenges. As they continue on their own roads to rehabilitation, they are happy to share their insight and offer advice to those newly coping with brain injury.
Advice that I would give to somebody who just found out they had a brain injury would be, to stay positive and to keep moving forward, but not to belittle what they're doing.
Ask for help when you need it.
Educate yourself as much as possible.
Stop, breathe. Take this time to think and plan.
Definitely reach out to the State Brain Injury Association. They have a lot of resources. The second thing I would say is you need to really be assertive or aggressive about advocating for your child.
Meet the special education teachers, the social workers, the psychologists, and the regular education teachers. Keep them informed about what's going on.
Keep the dialogue always open with school, not only with administration, but also with each individual teacher.
Put yourself in their shoes and say, all right, if I was dealing with this kind of a situation, what would I need right now?
Networking is important for support, and taking time for each other, for the mom and dad to go on a date is important.
A date?
Spending time with other families who have been there and really know what you're going through is invaluable.
You have to have a lot of patience. You have to do anything for your child.
I would have to tell you that it is a long journey, but that there is hope.
Do you give up?
No. Keep going at it.
Do you ever give up?
No.
These families, despite all of their struggles, are held together by this love and this drive that no matter what their day may bring or no matter what their future may look like, that they just keep plugging away with smiles on their face and with a sense of hope in their heart.
I can take a chance.
For more information about brain injury, visit the Brain Injury Association of New York State's website at www.bianys.org.